drinking Minute Maid and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta protein shakes.
Yeah, everybody's talking like Justin. Are you juicing? Yeah, Justin, you're on juice.
Yeah,
not natural. Juicing. You're using that, bro. I'm juicing. I'll give you my exact thing. It's Minute Maid, 100%. After my workout, it's about 12 fluid ounces and then protein powder. So
there you go. You got to get your carbs and your protein to push it straight into the blood.
But is the protein powder just the powder?
That's yeah, no, there's no water in here. It's just it's dry as just dick. Like it's just horrible.
Wow. Okay. We love Justin's over here dry scooping. Chef's over here having a good time. Steve's here with us. I'm Coach Rob.
Hello.
Better Than Broadway, episode 23 of season 2. Once again, I'm Coach Rob, and I'm not wearing any pants. So, boys,
video or it didn't happen.
Hey,
Prove
well,
it.
Maybe
Prove it.
Maybe the end of the show. End of the show. We'll see. Guys, we had a really fun week in pro wrestling. Before we get too deep into things, we got some good stuff going on this week. We are officially on the road to SummerSlam. We are 5 or 4 days away, depending on when this airs.
It'll be 4. we
so
come out Mondays.
Saturday, August 5th, live on Peacock or wherever you get your premium live events. It's still weird to say premium live events
instead of pay-per-view. Yeah,
so stupid.
We grew up with pay-per-view. Vince McMahon owns the term pay-per-view. Like what the shit, dude? Like, come on.
It's like local medical facility and like
instead of hosptal.
And championship instead of strap. You can't say belt. All the stupid
title.
Like, what? Yeah, why you gotta
that local medical facility could be like an urgent care. They took them to urgent care. Screw it.
They took them to the wambulance.
Yeah, right. I guess that would be considered a local medical facility. An ambulance is a mobile medical facility. So there you go. They're not mine.
Ambulances, they're not. They're just there to stabilize you, to get you to that local medical facility. They're not exactly mobile hospitals or anything.
Yeah, they're not doing appendectomies on an ambulance.
They're to make sure you don't die. That's it.
Yeah. Well, since the last time we all got together, a lot's happened, obviously. This evening is the Great American Bash. That's going to be a good one. Over in Japan, this morning, we woke up to night 10 of the G1 Climax Tournament, year 33. D-Block was pumping. We saw one of the biggest matches of this show.
Did you say D'Lo Brown is in New Japan?
D-Block, which ironically, that's where they put me when I went to jail last time. So
that's exactly right. Was Benny there? Was Benny there? Benny's a good guy, man.
With the Jets? You talking about with the Jets?
No, just Benny. You don't know Benny?
No.
About everybody in D-Block knew Benny.
You know what? What's funny? What's up with the Benny and the Jets? Everybody, he was singing about that song. Elton John wrote a song about him, and they never made it. That's a shame, man. Benny and the Jets should have been a big thing.
I agree, but things happen. In this morning's or last night's, depending on tonight's how you look at it in Japan. It's actually tomorrow over there already. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace meets Hiroki Goto for the 17th time in their careers.
And that is in no way depressing. We've been having the same match for the last 15 years, and that is in no way depressing.
This is like John Cena and Randy Orton going head to head like they did in 2008, where they had like 78 matches in one calendar year.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's like fucking Sheamus and Randy Orton.
I was about to say Sheamus. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, they had to have a match between Cena and Randy of like, this is the last time. We're not doing anymore. We swear. And then how long
was the last one to do that? Was it Kevin Owens and Sammy?
Well, that would be like Ric Flair's last match, right? That would be like
yeah.
That would be like Kiss saying it's their farewell tour.
Pretty much. So anyway, you got Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto, their 17th match ever. Tanahashi has won 12 of those past 16 meetings. Tanahashi wins this evening. Great main event. You love to see it. Another interesting thing is Justin's leaving us.
Goodbye.
We have, for the first time through 10 nights, we have an undefeated athlete in multiple undefeated athletes. We have Sonata, who is the current world champion, IWGP champion. He's undefeated. Jeff Cobb's undefeated.
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb's a badass. So I mean,
Jeff Cobb was a human railroad train.
It's like my brother's favorite wrestler, who I just talked to him, by the way. We need to have him on here very soon. Him and I are just kind of BSing here tomorrow. I'm kind of excited about that. Been talking to him a lot.
Would love to have your brother on again. Absolutely. Osprey is undefeated. David Finlay of Bullet Club is undefeated. Kazuchika Okada is 5-1. So I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on here, and you have 24 wrestlers working in this
promotion.
Sorry, guys, I had a Mitch McConnell moment.
Easy for you to say.
Sick burn.
So anyway, really good tournament going on in Japan. We love it. We're going to keep you guys updated on that as it goes along. Night 11 is tomorrow.
Steve, do you follow New Japan at all?
No, I'm familiar with some of the athletes, but I'm not an avid watcher.
Well, I think a lot of what's cued me into some of their athletes is when AEW does the Forbidden Door. Yeah, they're like, oh, this is who this guy is. So that's been my biggest dive into it, but I don't follow it, in my sleep like Rob does.
Yeah, Rob is our resident New Japan and all things overseas expert for sure. And I got into it a little bit, but it's really hard to watch it and keep up with it live. Like, Rob, how do you watch it? Is it on? Is it like you stream it like online on a website or?
So you can stream it on NJPW World, New Japan Pro Wrestling World. It's their Peacock. It's their app, so gotcha. You can watch it on that. It's like Max and Peacock and all those other things. Gotcha. But a lot of it, they air a lot of the stuff on Instagram. There's a couple of Instagram pages that I follow for the show just to kind of have extra information. Yeah. And they'll post a half a match. They'll post highlights. It's really good stuff. When we get off today, I'll go ahead and share that with you guys.
I follow some of those. That's about the extent that I get. Yeah, as well.
Yeah. Big shout out to guys like Authors of Wrestling, Wrestle Republic, those kind of Instagram pages. Those are good ones. A lot of those we see. It's really good stuff. So yeah, really, really good week. I've really been enjoying G1. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year. And it's just because it's fresh and you get to see everybody work everybody. And
I mean, so Rob, what makes it this spectacle that you kind of gravitate towards?
So I think the reason that I really enjoy the tournament is because they're all fighting for a prize. It's almost like the Royal Rumble in a lot of ways, because you have this year you have 4 blocks. The last year you had 2, the A and the B block. Now you have A, B, C, and D. So 6 wrestlers in each block. They all wrestle each other twice, and then they go into 2 blocks. They take the top 6 from a top 3 from each. Kind of like soccer, it's round robin. And then whoever wins the tournament in full, they will gain the right to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom in January. So it's a briefcase, and it's like everybody comes together. Whoever wins gets a briefcase. So it's Money in the Bank. It's the Royal Rumble. It's King of the Ring. I mean, it's all of it. So I think that's what it's. Yeah, I think that's cool. What gives it a lot of fun. The winner gets a cool trophy, and it looks like flames. It's pretty cool. And then they get a briefcase, and it says, January 4th, 2024 on it, and challenge rights.
Who's been the biggest winners?
So your biggest winners have been people like Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, Hiroki.
I was going to say Okada won at least one, I know, right?
Okada has won, I think, at least 2. He won in 2012, and I think he won in 2014, maybe. He wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura in one of his last matches at the G1 final in 2014.
I love Shinsuke.
I was watching that with my daughter the other night because she likes Nakamura because of his theme music, because she plays viola. So we're sitting there watching the match and just like, hey, check this out. It's like, oh my gosh, he looks just the same. He's still got his, Michael Jackson hair. He's still got his jacket, and he's still just the shit. So, Kenny Omega has won. Will Ospreay's won. Sonata has won. Tanahashi has won. Masahiro Chono won it 5 times. You know Masahiro Chono from WCW. He was one of those guys that was NWO Japan, and he came over with Muda and Ultimo Dragon and some of those other guys in the late 90s. Masahiro Chono is royalty in Japan. So a lot of good stuff there.
I love a good tournament. You know, I think sometimes tournaments get shit on as like being lazy booking or whatever, but like that's how real sports work a lot of times, right? Like I harken back into the days of the original, you know, UFC when you would have these tournaments to find out the Ultimate Fighter or whatever.
Like 5 times in one night.
Yeah, the one night thing is rough.
Three.
But you know what's funny is that the one night thing in wrestling makes more sense. You know, I mean, it's dangerous when you're actually talking about fighting. They couldn't do that nowadays. You'd never get sanctioned. But when you're talking about wrestling, I mean, you know, it's doable. You know, a lot of these workers are used to that kind of stuff. And, you know, the King of the Ring tournament was great, obviously, back when they did all that all in one day or all in one night and just made it its own pay-per-view.
Good times.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Stone Cold, you know, that's how Austin 316 was born, right? Was after the
you know, I think
the ring.
I think actually my very first like wrestling pay-per-view was the King of the Ring. Where I think it was Jeff Jarrett. It was the one where the 1-2-3 Kid was having his start, and then Jeff, like, was it Owen Hart messed him up after he won, and then he went and fought Jeff Jarrett for the title, but then he was too injured to win.
Well,
so like back in like maybe 93, 92.
I remember a match between Bret Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid that was fantastic.
I remember that.
Like that was King of the Ring, but I could have been wrong. I could be wrong. But
was that the year that Bret Hart won the King of the Ring and then Jerry Lawler bashed him with the scepter?
It might have been that year. Yeah, because Bret obviously won the match with the 1-2-3 Kid or whatever, X-Pac, whatever. But yeah. So anyways, I love a good tournament. I think it's great. What's next?
Well, speaking of tournaments, that's a great segue. Let's talk about this AEW blind tag team final last night.
So good.
AEW Collision featuring MJF and Adam Cole Bay versus 7-star FTR. FTR, by the way, I just want to say something real quick about these guys. And Steven, I want your opinion on this. FTR have put on some of the best wrestling matches in the last 2 years. The trilogy with the Briscoes, the matches with the Guns, the match they just had last week with Bullet Club Gold, where it was a 2 out of 3 falls match, was outstanding. And last night, MJF and Adam Cole fight for the right to be the AEW Tag Champions. FTR came out on top on that match. So many near falls, so many false finishes, all the hits. MJF is well established as a babyface now, as much as he wants to hit Adam Cole.
Weird. God, it's so
weird. I thought the turn was coming then. So the turn didn't come last night or the other night?
No. I was waiting. I was like, he's going to hit him with the belt. He's going to hit him with the... Nope. We are.
Maybe they are just actually friends.
Okay.
Is that too hard to imagine?
Yes.
Ryan's like, can't we just all get along?
Can't we just get along?
No,
guys?
I don't know, man. I mean, obviously it's going to come to a head at some point, but I think, you know, maybe that was the obvious time and maybe they don't want to do the obvious thing, you know?
I mean, Justin, can't you just accept being second fiddle forever? Well, I'm the champion. Just accept it.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
No.
You're my buddy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the baby face promo at the end was just absolutely fantastic. And it really kind of has you on the edge of your seat, right? Because you're literally just waiting. Like I knew for sure when they were doing the tequila shot that somebody was gonna get a nut shot. You know what I mean? When they were doing the tequila. But yeah, man, great match. And FTR, like, Rob, you tell me, or Ryan, all you guys, what I still hear and see in comment sections about these trolls saying that like FTR is bland and vanilla and all this and that. And like, I don't understand. I don't see how you can see that they don't have a gimmick that works. Like what are your thoughts on it?
I defer to Chef. I'll come back.
Me?
You call both of us chef, dude.
It's true. It's true.
I honestly
Rob
think
calls everybody chef. He's just everybody. Hey,
There you
chef.
go.
chef is like my second. It's really like my first
Chef-
name. So I'm
Chef
always just answering.
Hollywood.
I'll answer. To be honest, I think FTR is one of the only teams that really is a tag team to me. But it's been like that for years, where they're really good single, but together there's nobody that can compare.
Well, it's like, everyone else is pieced together tag teams,
Yeah.
but they're like one of the originals, like, high voltage, and, or the Ultimate Warriors. No, I'm sorry, the Roadie, the line.
Road Warriors.
Road Warriors, yes.
Oh yeah, LOD.
Legion of Doom.
Tell them, Hawk. Well,
Well,
But to that point
metal
though,
song.
it's like, Dax and FTR on their own, they do really well as singles competitors. When when LOD was wrestling, like, did they really succeed as singles? Like, not so much.
oh,
hey, I mean, FTR has kind of always been a tag team. That's the
Yeah.
reason why they work like that. They never really did have. I mean, they will use them as individuals for jobbers, for high level jobbing.
No. They had,
Like,
somebody had a
because they're so
5-star
good.
match earlier this year. One of them.
Dax and MJF had a really good match earlier this year.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they can't put on 5-star match. I'm just saying they use them for putting other people over, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt the tag team if a tag team loses a singles battle, right? I mean,
Sure.
at the end of the day, you
Agreed.
kind of know. And when you see somebody, you recognize them, you recognize that they're a star, but it's just a very easy thing to say, like, well, this isn't his wheelhouse, and so,
Yeah.
you're not really taking anything away from what he does good at. And you're still able to elevate the other person. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, they've been doing it for years.
They have Montez Ford in all these matches, and he doesn't win at all. He looks good,
Mhm.
but it doesn't affect the prime time players. Oh my God.
The Street Profits.
Yeah, the Street Profits.
Yeah, it doesn't affect them at all.
Well, so do you feel that makes Angelo Dawkins look good? Look better?
He has single matches too, but I like Montez was in the Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
He was
Like a
he was a
star.
star, yeah.
But
But
everyone's talking of, like, Montez getting his singles run, and it's saying, like, yeah, when that happens, Angelo gets put out to pasture, which happens a lot when it comes to tag. I mean, who was Otis's tag team partner?
Tucker gone.
Tucker gone.
So
So
Miz and Morrison. Morrison's gone.
it was
Shawn
Johnny
Michaels,
Elite.
the Rockers.
Yeah.
Shawn Michael, Marty Jannetty. Jannetty's
I was going to say
gone.
Angelo Dawkins is definitely the Marty Jannetty of the Street Profits,
Yeah,
but
sadly.
he's definitely getting better. I think we've said that before on here.
He's lost a lot
Ford
of
is,
weight too.
he has, and
Yeah,
that's important. That's important. But Montez Ford is obviously just a superstar. I think in that
Right.
situation, they're kind of testing the waters for the eventual, dissolving of that tag team. But I still think the Street Profits still have a lot of mileage left before they have to do
I
that.
agree.
Totally.
Who are your longest tenured tag teams in AEW right now? The Young Bucks and FTR. Those are the two.
Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers, Blade and the Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
don't-
problem
Best
with
friends?
the Lucha Brothers
Best
is
friends?
best friends. The
Yeah.
problem with the best friends and with the Lucha Brothers is the same thing that was happening with Top Flight, is that just they were riddled with all those injuries.
Correct.
Ooh,
You
I
know,
know.
you had they tried to do Dante's single run, which he was great and he got over, but unfortunately just his brother just kept getting injured after injury. And then the same thing with the Lucha Brothers. You have Penta was pretty good, but you had Phoenix he had a shoulder, and then he messed up he literally broke his fib tib, I think is what it was.
No, hyperextended,
That
just like the other way. Like,
yeah, it was horrible. So I mean, he's had a couple bad bouts with that. And then the Butcher and the Blade, I think I really, really like them just because I like Andy, the Butcher, because he was in one of my favorite bands. But I don't feel as though they've gotten, I guess they played their part, but do you guys, I don't ever see them being like tag team champions and having a big run.
ever since I've started watching AEW, I've always liked Butcher and the Blade, just because, like, he's walking around with the samurai pants on. He's doing like the walking lunges. Like it was just cool to me. And I'm like, I'm waiting for them to have their big push. Like, because, you know, Butcher's obviously the muscle, the Blade's obviously the speed. Like, I'd like to see them mess some people up. Yeah.
It's not that they're not fully capable of being superstars, because I think they're both fabulous. They both have a very unique look. The gimmick itself is pretty cool. I just think that, you know, they've been booked as goons. You know, I mean, they're always goons for somebody else. And I don't know. They're definitely I was really excited to see Andy, because Andy's been doing, you know, the stuff forever, and I've seen him play live in concert, you know, just countless times. And I remember back 20 years ago watching him play at the skate park in Memphis and just noticing, like, this guitar player is freaking jacked, man. Like, he's a musician. Like, what does he do? And then, you know, come to find out years later, like, oh, he's freaking wrestling. Like, he's hanging out with all these wrestlers, and then he becomes a wrestler. It's just, it's really awesome. So
like
I love those guys.
Doyle from Misfits.
Yeah, except, dude, Andy was bigger than all those. That's the thing.
Course.
Like, you know, Henry Rollins was big when we were kids, and we're like, oh, he's big, but like, Andy's legit. He's like 275 big. Like, he's, you know, now he's probably over 300 pounds now.
Is he still playing with the band a bunch?
No, so Every Time I Die is the name of the band that he was in, and they kind of dissolved and broke up, sadly. Over the pandemic, they kind of just decided to call it quits. But, you know, they had put out music as recently as, you know, I think their last album was in 2019, and then they just never, I don't think they put anything out after the pandemic. I could be wrong.
Good to see life's working out for him, though. I mean, he's doing great in AEW.
It's a great transition. Yeah, I mean, he loves wrestling. So, I mean, I hope he still sticks with music. He's an amazing musician. All the guys in that band are. So
I was watching AEW on Friday night, and they had a tag team battle royal, I want to say. And it was these two really big guys. I think his name was Big Bill.
Big Bill and
yeah, that's Kaz.
I want to say that was Big Kaz. Yeah,
it was Big Kaz.
They looked good, but they were so sloppy at the end of that match, and it just really bothered me.
Was that the one where it took like 5 of them to put Satnam Singh over the ring?
Yes,
I think I saw that.
And Satnam Singh he has all the Big Show moves, so you could tell the Big Show is training him.
Yes.
But it was like,
I mean, he's in AEW, so
it was copy and paste Big Show from the weak chops in the corner to everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're that size, to be honest with you. I mean, he could do a moonsault, but, you know, most people are going to tell the big guys to stay on their feet. So,
I remember, like, there's some rumors saying like Satnam Singh was just kind of there for show. So is he actually getting in the ring and wrestling now?
He was in the battle royal, the tag team battle royal with Jay Lethal, maybe.
It's very obvious that they're trying to protect him, though.
So, 100%.
They don't have a lot of moves for him to do, but
I mean, honestly, Big Bill's kind of in the same boat. Like when he wrestled MJF and Adam Cole, like it was kind of the big boot, the chest slap, body slam.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have Enzo anymore to keep him looking good.
Ooh,
he doesn't. But I think Big Bill is definitely more seasoned. I think he's a pretty decent wrestler. I like his intensity. He has kind of like an it factor. He just looks like a guy that, you know, he's like a Kevin Nash or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Kevin Nash didn't have a lot of moves, but he did exactly what he wanted to do, and
it would need to be done.
And he made the impact. And, you know, neither did Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan didn't have that very many moves. You know,
I think that if you give Bill an opportunity to speak and kind of replay the gimmick that he had in WWE with Enzo, and you just gave him the chance with the mic, I think people would really be a little more in tuned to him, because right now it's him and Brian Cage as a tag team because they just need something for those guys to do, and they're both big, so it's like, here you go. And Brian Cage is amazing. That guy is a beast.
He is. He made a fan out of me.
Best body man in the business for sure.
Fun story. When we were at AEW last year, guys, Kate ran up to him for a picture, an autograph, and he blew her off. And Kate's all, "Fuck Brian Cage."
Yeah, so I had the unfortunate interaction with him. I met him twice. I met him once like years ago when he was still in Lucha Underground. I guess it was WrestleMania, whatever year it would have been, in like 2017 maybe, or 2016. We were down there. It was in Orlando, and we saw a Super Show down there, and he was fantastic. He was great. Really, really nice, very personable. of course, that was when he was supposed to be or whatever. And then in 2019, I saw him in Vegas, I think it was, in Orlando, or in, I don't know if it was 2019 or maybe 2020. One, I can't remember which. Was he Vegas or Orlando? I saw him, and he was definitely. I came up to him and said, like, "Hey man, what's going on? You know, blah blah blah. Great." And it's like, "I'm so happy that you're doing well in AEW." He wasn't really getting the push that he needed then, and I could tell just talking to him that he just wasn't really happy with the situation. And I was like, "Yeah, E&W, I love it." He goes, "Yeah, it's a wrestling company." That was his response to, like, literally, he's like, I was like, "Man, I love that there's an alternative, this and that." And I'm like all talking up, and he's like, yeah, it's a wrestling company. So like, he wasn't a dick to me, but that's all he had to put into it. And and he was just it's not like he had a line. Nobody knew who he was. And at the when you're at the Olympia, everybody's as big as him. You know what I mean? So it's like, he wasn't like nobody know who he was. So he was just sitting there by himself, talking or whatever. And I came up to him and he just, he seemed like he really couldn't be bothered. So, but I know what it's like to be prepping and eating and tired all the time and all that other shit. So
Justin, are you bigger than Brian Cage?
I'm tall. I'm a lot taller than him.
Okay.
I don't weigh nearly as much as he does. I would say he's probably about 265, but he's also like maybe 5'10".
Okay.
I'm like 6'1", 245.
He looks pretty short.
Yeah. And then when you're that wide, you almost look shorter because he's about as wide as he is tall.
I do really enjoy that Brian Cage does the Zangief outfits now from Street Fighter 2. And like that's a nice touch. Like, I love it. You're diving in.
I was Zangief one time before I was, when I was like a scrawny little punk, I was Zangief for one year, and I bought the muscle suit and I put the patch of hair on the front of it. I got a picture of it. I'll have to send it to you guys. It's hilarious.
Awesome. Oh, great.
That is the Instagram promo post.
Great wrestling week. SmackDown gave us a lot of really good things to talk about. We had Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio in the finals for the Austin Theory Invitational. Winner takes on Austin Theory on an episode of SmackDown. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but it's not on the SummerSlam card, which we're getting ready to talk about. I do want to say that Rey Mysterio was slightly injured during that match. They don't know if he suffered a concussion or what, but we would like to extend our condolences and well wishes to the Mysterio family. Ray, the King, please get better. Congratulations to Santos Escobar, who will be facing Austin Theory for the U.S. title. Hopefully, we're going to have a new champion. Guys, what are our thoughts on Escobar and Theory for the U.S. title in a week or two?
Well, before I want to ask a question. Has Ray ever really been seriously injured?
Yes. Oh my God.
He has been seriously, because I feel like he's avoided a lot of stuff unless I'm missing it.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, actually.
Rey Mysterio has had both knees redone at least a dozen times. Probably
just 5. From wear and tear, though, or did he get an injury and have to get it done, or was it just kind of like a wear and tear, like, it's time to get him done?
I think it's probably, I think the first injury was in WCW when he was working the angle with Nash. And then I think there was another time where he came to WWE and he had to have surgery again. And I'm sure they do it for maintenance nowadays. Because, I mean, he's a luchador. He's a high flyer. He's a guy that continually jumps and springboards and does all these things. And does hurricane ranas and does planchas and tope con heroes. So I mean, you're really pushing the envelope, which is when we talk about Vikingo, I'm like, dude, like Vikingo's in his late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, please don't die, because he's doing things.
That's what we say all the time about the guy.
He has been doing things that are just remarkable. But Ray's had a couple surgeries. He's had some time away from here and there, and usually it's to recover from knee surgeries and things like that. Other than that, he's good to go.
Cool. I was just curious. I was trying to think. I don't remember anything super serious. But
Steven, how do you feel about Santos Escobar?
I felt more strong about him when he was in NXT than I do about him on the main roster.
Okay.
I feel like Legado del what is it? What's the name of the faction?
It was
Legado,
Legado Fantasma, and now
but
they've
now
gone
it's
LWO.
LWO. I don't believe in the LWO.
I thought it was cool for Backlash though, man.
Yeah, it was
Shame
cool. I really liked it when it was it just feels more a show for Rey Mysterio now. Like I don't I just
Rey
I'm just not
Mysterio's
so.
the Hulk Hogan of the LWO.
Yeah. If they once they turn on Rey, then I'll be a believer of
Oh, okay.
You know, in the original LWO, which was led by Eddie Guerrero and featured Psicosis and Juventud Guerrera and a couple other guys like Silver King, a lot of the mid-carders, lower mid-carders, they tried to get Rey Mysterio to join the LWO and WCW, and he was like, hell no, screw you guys. And now it's funny because he's one of the main guys in the LWO now. So, you know, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? It's cultural appropriation. He's Latin. So they want to bring it back, and, you know, it's whatever. That's kind of like, it sounds like a Vince McMahon move to me, but who knows?
Well,
Vince McMahon stereotyping wrestlers? Shocker.
Shocker.
We're going to make the Irish guy Sheamus. He's going to be a brawling brute.
Yeah. Oh, my. Well, guys, I'm going to pass the reins over to Chef Ryan because it is time to talk about SummerSlam.
It's time. It's time.
It's Vader time.
Just take it away.
You know, I think, you know, I was getting ready for the podcast. I was doing like my Vince McMahon, like, you're going to hell. And like, he's like choking on his own gargle. Hell. And I'm like, does SummerSlam have like a catchy like way of saying it? Or is it just SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer.
Biggest party of the summer.
That's the tagline, but I mean, if Vince said it, he would have been SummerSlam.
No.
You know, that's what it would have been.
But no,
I used to love in the 90s when Vince McMahon was still on commentary, and his voice would get so high, but he wouldn't have the gargle that he's got now. It was more like, hey, we're going to get his go. SummerSlam, the British Bulldog. Oh, and his sister Diana hugging it out with Bret Hart.
The best
family's back together.
The best part when he'd be like, ridiculous. 1, 2, oh, he got him. No, he didn't get him every single time. Every count. He got him. It's over. Wait, no, it's not. He had like a 1 second delay. Yeah. Oh man.
That was good. But no, so we got a pretty stacked card. I'm looking forward to it. And you know, Logan Paul is on the card.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to Logan Paul? Rob, any ideas?
I'm just excited you got the names right.
Yeah, well, Logan Paul's already said that he and Ricochet are opening the show because his brother is fighting in Dallas, Texas that night. So he's going to go wrestle a match, hop on a plane, and go straight to this fight in Texas, which is a good thing that it's in different time zones because that'll, you know, save him an hour or two.
Private.
But, what?
I said private. I'm sure it's. I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure it's all private jets and whatever.
Oh,
sure. Have to wait for you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be ready to go. They're gonna put him in a car. They're gonna take him to the airstrip, and boom, he's gone. Where is SummerSlam this year? Does anybody know?
Detroit. It's in Detroit.
Oh, it is in Detroit. That's right.
Whoa.
That's like a 1 hour plane flight.
That's in the Eastern time zone, and then Dallas, Texas, in Central. So yeah, he'll lose he'll make it. He said he's gonna show up at the match in his ring gear for his brother. I was like, change your clothes, dude. You're in a private jet.
You're gonna be in a private jet. Change your clothes. It's for the effect. It's for
the jet probably has a shower on it.
Of course. So yeah,
the car probably has a shower in it.
Right.
This is the only match of the night where I'm just like, you know, whoever wins, we all win because
I'm gonna say this. I think Logan Paul is gonna whip Ricochet's ass. I think it's gonna be a gangbang by Logan Paul on Ricochet.
You're saying a one-man gangbang?
A one-man gangbang on Ricochet by Logan Paul.
All right.
See, even Steven's upset.
Yes, I said it.
I got Logan winning, but I don't think it's gonna be like that. Logan has to win. I don't think Logan has won a match.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we kind of needs to at some point, right?
Yeah. Sooner or later.
He and The Miz won that match at
No, he beat the Miz.
Royal Rumble, but then he beat the Miz. He did.
Oh, he did
The
beat the
Miz.
Miz?
That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
He beat the Miz. Yeah.
I think at the last SummerSlam, actually.
Yeah, I beat the Miz, and now I get a world title match against Roman Reigns. That makes perfect sense.
It was a good match, though.
Yeah, it was
Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's a solid match.
So I think Logan takes the win. Ricochet gets the rub, and everybody's happy.
Right. I agree.
No, no disagreement there.
Justin?
Yeah, I think Logan Paul is going to win.
All right. That's 4 for Logan. What's next?
4 for after that, we have Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey.
It's another open and shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. See, I told you, easy card.
Well, no, but the thing is, I think Shayna, like, are we saying Ronda's going to win?
No.
I think Charlotte Flair is going to win that one.
She has a match later that night, though.
Yeah, I know, but she
Okay.
wins everything. She's John
She wins
Cena.
everything.
I think she's going to somehow win that match too.
I have a theory about that match.
She just shows up in that match and just wins, and then goes.
Nepotism. Yeah.
Who wins every women's match on the card? Charlotte.
Charlotte Flair.
Who knows? But like, we were talking, Ronda wants more kids, or maybe she does, or her and Shayna go back a long time. Like when they were in the UFC together, like Shayna was in the UFC because of Ronda. And unfortunately, Shayna did not have as long of a career in the UFC as she did, as Ronda did. But I think it's now, which in theory has more time for Shayna learning pro wrestling. So this could be the moment where she could pull one over on her, because pro wrestling is not MMA, and MMA is not pro wrestling. Totally different sport.
Right.
I was hoping it was going to be a fight pit match. Honestly, thought it'd be a lot of fun. Take the ring.
I
ropes
wanted a
down.
UFC cage.
That would have been badass. It'd have
What
been
if it's
pretty
just a
hard to
regular
pull
cage?
off.
You mean like they did with Jake Hager and Wardlow?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was a fun match.
That's what I wanted. They'll never give me what I want.
So we all
let them
All
fight for
about
real.
YouTube.
Why don't you just let them fight for real? Like let them
Right.
like when we had what was it back in the 90s when they did the boxing match and the winner fought Butterbean?
Oh God,
Dude,
dude.
it was Bart Gunn. Yeah, it was Bart Gunn. that
Oh,
won. They got knocked the
Pray
fuck
for Bart
out.
Gunn.
by-
going back to tag teams, what happened to Bart Gunn after Billy fucking started, going big?
It's typically a vessel for one of the two. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I mean, dude, getting punched by Butterbean, no, I would not want that. I would not want to get hit by that man.
Even
No.
at this age.
I don't
Straight
want to
is
get
the
by
last thing.
anybody.
Yeah.
What is he's got to be like 60 now, right? He was like 40 in the 90s.
Yeah, well, let's look it up. Well, I looked that up. The next match is the SummerSlam Battle Royal with Sheamus, LaKnight, and 18 more people.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
56. Butterbean's
Yeah.
56.
Yeah.
You can have anybody win this battle royal. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if it's Sheamus or LA Knight or whoever. The winner of this match is going to be LA Knight one way or the other, because even if he loses the battle royal, the fans are going to stay behind him. He's got Cody syndrome, dude. Like, it doesn't matter what this man does. They're going to be behind him.
I don't know why are they going so crazy. Is he just over?
Yeah. Way over.
LA Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to understand it a little bit, but I don't understand.
Yeah, he
He's
seems
been in
actually
the
good.
business for 20 years and he's just paid his dues, and now he's clicked with the audience. He's become like Kofi Kingston. He's one of the 8 wrestlers in the last 25 years that's gotten over organically.
Yeah, he definitely has gotten over organically. When you look back and see him like in like all these like random little spots, like like workout videos with Triple H in the background, and then like there he is with like was it like with Moxley, like they were paying their dues back in the day, or roommates or whatever it was. Like he's definitely been in it for a long time. I think he does get a lot of hate, and he's gotten a lot of hate for so long with just being a carbon copy of like The Rock and Stone Cold or whatever, like some type of amalgamation of it or whatever. But like, I don't what. Okay, so what? I mean, Hulk Hogan was just was just superstar Billy Graham, like, I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing new under the sun. I think he does it well. I've liked LA Knight ever since, I saw him come up on the main roster. I didn't really follow him that much in NXT, but every single thing that he does.
Ric Flair Ric Flair was Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Darby Allin is Sting.
Whatever works, guys.
Whatever
like
works. Dolph Ziggler is Shawn Michaels. I mean, it just didn't work as well for Dolph, but you get me.
As long as you evolve and refine, you can make it your own.
Absolutely. Now, you take a guy like LA Knight who was told he wasn't good looking enough to be a movie star, so let's put you in a commercial. Okay, you were good enough to be the Impact Wrestling champion. You were good enough to be NWA champion, but you're not good enough to be in WWE. You're good enough to be in NXT, but you're not good enough to be in WWE. So we're going to make you a manager because we think you're too old. And people got a hold of that, and they were just chanting for him. They had to pipe in boos when this guy was coming on TV because people were like, oh, we know who that guy is. We know who he is from all these years. So it's just like, good for this guy for finally organically being one of those elite 8 people that have gotten over without any real help from the company.
Who are the other 7?
Okay. Do we got time for this?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. We got Stone Cold and The Rock. Okay. You got Daniel Bryan.
I think The Rock had a push.
Yeah, but at the same time, we can argue these all day.
It was a different time. That's true. It was a different time. Daniel Bryan, 100%, obviously.
Stone Cold and The Rock. You got Daniel Bryan. Okay. You got Kofi. You got Zack Ryder. You got Becky Lynch. You got I wrote them all down. I can't remember them all. Somebody asked me this a while back.
You don't have them written on your wall?
I don't have them written on my wall. No, sorry, I can't help you there. But I had actually talked to somebody about this not terribly long ago. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
Tattooed on my calf.
I have them tattooed on my chest.
That's crazy, Ryan. Brian Danielson's definitely the first one that comes to mind for me. Becky Lynch, I could see that definitely, the man. I think Bray Wyatt got over despite himself, or despite trying to be pushed, or not pushed or whatever.
Well, I think also maybe the Undertaker had a pretty good natural rise because it was just so unique and so dark. And granted, he was a heel growing up, but then once he started really the American Badass thing, it really caught.
No, Undertaker he's one of the biggest superstars in our sport
of all time
altogether. I don't know that he got over without. They put a lot into him. That was definitely Vince McMahon's baby. Yeah. So I don't know that
I'm sorry, Justin.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rob. Go.
No, we're talking about the Undertaker. The Machine was behind him.
Exactly.
Stone Cold, he says Austin 316. Next thing you know, he's the biggest thing. The Rock starts talking die, Rocky die. Joins the Nation Domination, wins the Intercontinental Championship, and then boom, skyrocket. Daniel Bryan, the crowd gets in the ring for him with the yes, yes, yes movement. And, thinking about Kofi, he replaced Mustafa Ali in that elimination chamber match. And then next thing you know, it's Kofi Mania. And then Becky Lynch goes on TV, gets her nose broken. She's bleeding all over the place. She's got her arms extended like this, and she just became an icon. I'm talking this is how these people became the icons that they are. And LA Knight walks the ring, talks a bunch of shit and says, yeah. And then the crowd loves it. So,
yeah, I think it's the difference between having a push like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, or, right. Undertaker, and then making creative, not giving creative an option. Basically, right. It's after King of the Ring tournament, obviously they had good plans for Stone Cold, but after the King of the Ring tournament, when he said that the 316 promo, they didn't have any other choice.
Yeah,
literally the next night you had thousands of Austin 316 signs.
Right.
And he went on to sell more merch in the following month than the company had all year, some crazy stat like that.
Yeah.
So like you didn't have a choice. It was obvious. So like, all right, well, we got to do something with this now because it's literally a license to print money. So, but I think that's the difference between the two. And I think LA Knight definitely was, because like the creative didn't have anything for him, but he just has whatever you need to have, the it factor, and he just got over whatever little bit that they gave him over, So a lot of people couldn't do that, Cody. A lot of people had a spotlight and then couldn't do it,
or a generational name that brought, that kind of carries their momentum with them.
Yeah, they put several pushes on Cody before they threw him in the Stardust BS, and and he couldn't get over. So it took him a lot longer to get to that point.
That still shouldn't have happened. Stardust shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. But the thing is, like I said, they did give him several gimmicks before that, and even though he was so good, he just had trouble getting over to that point to where when he went away, and I mean that's obviously was the best decision he ever made in his career. For sure.
Well, speaking of Cody, he's got a match versus Brock Lesnar.
This will be good.
This is the rubber match.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is rubber, right?
And is this like a no rules or anything like that, or is it straight up one fall?
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's got to be something. They're not doing it in a steel cage.
Yeah,
I wish they would have a steel cage match
on Monday
instead of the Hell in the Cell. I wish they would just do the old school blue steel cage match. You guys remember the blue steel cage match? I want to go back to that. Yes. Why don't we do that? Bring what is old is new, right? Like, let's do that.
Yeah.
Cody would have to be the one to do it. He have to be the one to bring it back.
Exactly. Cody would be the one to do it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Who do you guys got winning the match?
I think it's gonna be Cody, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Cody. Like can't have
Brock's in his twilight, and he's putting people over now. So
I think Cody's gonna have to like hit him with his car or something. Bring out the tractor and just like take the thing, just like pin him down with it, and then get on top. Who knows?
He should come to the ring in his brother's gold Cadillac Bro-Am. Remember when he fought Piper? When Goldust fought Piper at Mania in the street match or whatever, and he drove in that gold Cadillac or whatever. It was a Fleetwood. I don't remember what it was. It was like an old, one of those big ass, I think it was like 2 doors or whatever. It was basically like driving around a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? Like it was so big. Like you had the cars, like remember back in the day, you had those cars where if you wanted to change the radio, you had to unbuckle your seatbelt and scoot over and then like go over there to get it because they're so damn wide.
It was
you ever had the
run over Brock with that.
You ever had the 28 disc CD changer and it was in the trunk?
It was in the trunk. Yeah, it got to be in the trunk because it's got the shock absorbers on it. So every single time you hit the thing, it wouldn't,
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
I think Cody should come out, since Brock is like known as like the Mountain Man. Cody should come out as like in like some red flannel with a shotgun. And just be like, it's time to put you down. And just boom, and like it's over.
Fantastic.
Only
in America.
Yeah, right.
Only in America.
Well, look, Brock would want to go that way. He entered this world via the forest. He wants to leave this world like in the forest.
Cody should literally shoot him with a shotgun. I think that's
Cowboy Brock has been the best Brock in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, by far. It's not even a question. I never liked Brock Lesnar at all. I never saw the appeal to him until Cowboy Brock. Never once.
It's having the most fun.
Well, what if Cody's gonna hog time and he can't move? That's how he pins him.
Oh, they got to do the belt, the strap,
the Texas
match.
Bull Rope match,
right?
Yeah, Bull Rope match.
So that's how he beat Brody for the TNT title.
Yeah,
right?
That was fantastic. What a good match, man! God, what a good match! God, Brody Lee was so good.
Well, we got Monday night. We'll find out if there's a stipulation.
Yeah. And after that, we also have Gunther, the Ring General, versus Drew McIntyre, who kind of popped back up and was like, "Give me a title shot."
I'm not crazy about that. You guys tell me who you want to win, and I'll tell you why.
I want Gunther to win.
Yeah, Gunther needs to win. I think at this point, like Drew and Gunther have been back and forth with each other, fighting for so long. I feel like they're just trying to give Drew some ring time or whatever. I mean, I think it's like Randy Orton and Sheamus at this point. Like it's just like let's move on. Let's do something else with Gunther.
Over it. I think it's time for Gunther to. Once he beats the streak, it's time to get him against Cody and going for that title.
Yeah,
or
that's
Cody
true.
or Seth or whoever it is. It's time. It's overdue.
Gunther keeps the title for a few more months because they love their records, they love their numbers, and he's only like 30 days south of beating the Honky Tonk Man's record. So I think
Was he beating the Miz's?
He beat the Miz's. He beat Pedro Morales, and now I think Honky Tonk Man was at 54 weeks, which is like a little over 400 and some odd days. So now, once he passes that, I think then they can take the belt off him. Personally, we've been saying this for months. I want to see Chad Gable beat him for that title.
I'd love to see
Only
that.
person. That's it. Master Gable. Thank you. Let him win.
I'm not mad at it.
So then was it Drew going to AEW after this?
No, Drew just signed. I think Drew just signed a longer contract. I think he
I think he did sign. I think he's on another 3 years, I think, or so.
Cool, good for him.
He'll get his chance of being champion again. It's just, not right now. He's just he's this match with Drew, this one-on-one match will help solidify his reign as Intercontinental Champion, because everybody else he's beat has been, Sheamus, Matt Riddle. I mean, these are guys that are good workers, but they're not as established. They're not former world champions like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. So, give Gunther his rub and his due and his flowers, and then take the belt off him and let him go after the world title and Seth later on.
Okay.
I agree. I don't see Chad Gable beating him, but
so Steve, here's a question for you.
Okay.
The next match is the Women's World Championship match between who do you think is going to win between Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair, and why is it Charlotte?
It's Charlotte because they're trying to run that number up. So I think she'll be a little transition.
What was it Leo said about Charlotte?
Oh, I don't
preposterous.
Preposterous.
16 times, or was it 14 times preposterous?
She's a glorified loser.
Still my favorite thing about this entire podcast. We've been doing it for how long now? It's still my favorite.
Oh no, guys. This is our 1 year anniversary.
What?
Really?
Really?
Where's the freaking cake at, Ryan?
I was on vacation all week. Yeah,
next week we will celebrate.
We will eat cake.
Next week we celebrate 1 year. Let's
wait. We got to do a cake segment, and somebody's got to get smashed in the face with it.
My birthday's coming up. Your birthday was just a while ago. So
I know. I thought we were gonna get. I thought I was gonna get away with that not being talked about. So
What?
You just turned 40. I'm the young one here.
I know.
Turning
You're
40
the
last.
You're the young whippersnapper.
Well, Steve's pretty young too. He's like what, 25, 26?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
26. But yeah, I think Charlotte wins, and I think Io cashes in.
Ooh,
Hope so.
It gives Charlotte the number. What was she at? 16?
No, she has to be. I thought she was at 14.
So she'll be at 15, and then
I could be wrong.
Cash and get her right on out of there.
If she's at 15 and she wins it, I mean that ties her dad. I feel like they'd be talking about that if that was the case.
Yeah,
I think that's what's coming.
I think this will be 15. I think she's a 14 champion.
she is 14. I just looked it up.
Yeah. So Io, I feel like Asuka needs to win this match. Not for the sake of Bianca, not for the sake of Charlotte, but for the sake of Io, because they had something special earlier in the year when Asuka was on Raw and Damage Control was on Raw, and they were going back and forth yelling at each other in Japanese, and then Io called her a bitch. But I'm just gonna flat out say it. Bianca had a year with the belt, tired of Charlotte. God damn it, give me some fresh blood. Let me see Io win a title. She's talented, she's good, she's making it happen. Asuka's great, but just go. Let her have it.
It's time for something new.
Tired of it.
Okay.
New Cupid. Sorry.
Okay. So last two. Do you want? Well. So Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, World Heavyweight Championship, like a chocolate chip.
You missing a couple matches too.
No, I didn't.
You got before you get to the last two, you have Raquel versus Rhea.
Oh,
And
that hasn't been confirmed yet.
Oh, it hasn't been confirmed?
Yeah, Steve.
My bad.
That might,
but if it's Raquel versus Rhea,
that might be confirmed on Monday, but they haven't confirmed it yet.
Who's gonna win and why is it Rhea?
Yeah, it's Rhea.
It's Rhea. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's Rhea.
Yeah.
It's gonna destroy her.
Yeah, you have that one, and you have Sammy and Kevin versus Judgment Day, which I think will be Sammy. I think it'll be Sammy and Kevin because of the cash. I think he's going to cash in. I think Damian Priest cashes in too. I don't know if I'm jumping from match to match because it's like I think he cashes in on Seth.
Yeah. Well, what if he cashes in on Finn? Right, Finn wins.
Yeah.
Ooh, Finn wins, and all of a sudden Damian Priest cashes in right then, just like Finn wins the title and gets it ripped right away. That's good storytelling.
That would be good storytelling because that's what happened with the Universal title, right?
Right.
He was the very first ever Universal champ.
Finn just can't hold on to a title more.
Yeah, that's a better story.
But that's what I love about kind of WWE is you have so many of these top superstars. If you play the game of longevity, that you have these moments where like the Undertaker had the streak. Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania. Triple H is the Game, to where he's all these different stories are crafted around just the legacy of their tenure in WWE. And it's like, how cool would it be if like for Finn, like, look, like, eventually it pays off, but like you could always get the spotlight, you could never hold on to it. And that's this, tortured soul story of his.
Finn can't finish. Yeah, I think it's time for Judgment Day to break up, right?
No,
that would make sense.
Already?
No.
If Damian Priest, all right, what is typically the reason for a faction, right? A faction is a vessel to get people over, right? Maybe people that can't get over, they're not over yet on their own, so they put them with other more seasoned people, right? So what has happened with the Judgment Day? Finn was kind of arguably the guy that was over, right? Once Edge left, right? So Rhea is as over as over. He might be the most over person in wrestling right now, right?
Damian
as far
Priest
as a heel.
Dominic.
No, Dominic might be the most.
Dominic is
I don't know why I said and then you've got Damian's Mr. Money or Mr. What did it say?
Money in the Bank.
Senior Money in the Bank. Yeah. So I mean, everybody's over in the Judgment Day. Like, do they need to be there? Like, if Damian cashes in on Finn, I mean, that's kind of the dissolving. I mean, that would dissolve. Rhea's kind of like doing her whole. She's kind of a baby face, right? At this point, right?
Yeah.
So she's not as much with that. Like, it almost doesn't fit anymore. So I mean, maybe we see the dissolving of that, and then we see a nice little program between Finn and Damian. I don't know. Just
maybe
not out there.
Well, what makes it so fun is that you guys may not recall, but Damian Priest was the U.S. champion, and then Finn Balor was the U.S. champion, and then Priest turned heel, and then, or no, one way or the other, one of them turned heel. I can't remember if it was Finn that turned heel or Damian that turned heel, but they fought over the U.S. title for about 3 or 4 months there, either early, I think it was mid last year. It's been a year, and then Edge brought in Finn and Priest and all those people to try to make them join the Judgment Day, and they kicked him out. When you take Damian Priest and you put him in that match with Bad Bunny at Backlash, you made him a superstar.
Right.
Yeah.
And he now, in my opinion, is outshining Finn Balor. Agreed?
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay. Finn needs to win that championship from Seth on Saturday to reestablish his spot as the number one guy in the Judgment Day, because right now the number one guy in the Judgment Day is
Damian Priest.
Rhea Ripley. Oh, sorry.
Dominic
Rhea
Mysterio.
Ripley,
Dominic Mysterio.
with Rhea Ripley being
Who's the-
number 2, Dom
She's
being
the number one guy.
I think Dom is number one.
And Finn being on the bottom. Finn's like the odd man out right now because he's got nothing to hold on to. If you give him the title, everybody has something. You got 3 belts and you got a briefcase. You can send Priest after the Intercontinental title if you want, and break, Gunther's streak. I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. But ideally, eventually, you want Priest to be champion because he's earned it.
I think yeah, it could work.
He's earned
I know Dominic Mysterio admitted that Eddie Guerrero with his father the other day.
Yeah, I saw that on the shorts. He's answering the mean tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's like, I can't talk to my dad. Are we going to reconcile with your dad? Like, well, I can't really do that because my dad's dead. R.I.P. Eddie.
R.I.P. Eddie.
That sucks.
Wow.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Main event.
The main events.
Can't wait.
I'm catching the last little bit on SmackDown right now, but Jey Uso versus the Tribal King and Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns.
Oh man. It's Martin Scorsese, it's Ridley Scott, it's Spielberg, it's cinema. Like, these guys are unbelievable. Boys, talk about it, we'll talk about it.
It's a tribal rules match, which is just nothing, no DQs, no holds barred.
Are they
I think it's just a no holds barred match.
It's just a no holds barred match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Are
it's
they
no
going to
holds
have
barred
like
match.
people come out and dance first?
Yeah.
Like, are we getting that gimmicky?
Well,
I hope so. Make it as gimmicky as you want, man.
It could be
Have,
the
like,
Samoan
all-
chant. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
well,
coming out
you
in
know,
war
The Rock-
paint.
It should be a head of table match, and it's just a bunch of tables out there.
Just a head of tables match.
The head of the table match, like, it is just a tables match. I mean, come on, it writes itself. Damn it!
You got to crash them through 5 tables in a row.
Yeah,
Like
5 tables. You got to
No,
crash your
right.
head through the table to be the head of the table.
The
If
Rock
they
will be
don't
there,
come
so
out
it'll be
and-
cool.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said The Rock will be there, so it'll be,
That'd be
because
lit.
he has the whole program with Grayson Waller going on.
Maybe.
Is the Rock
Yeah.
going to be there?
That I think he is.
Nobody
with,
knows.
the way that Grayson Waller is acting, doing people's elbow and stuff. I feel like they're lining that up.
That'd work. I
If
feel
anybody's gonna
like
bring him
too.
up. Go ahead.
I feel like too. If these guys don't come out in Samoan war paint, then I'm
Yeah.
done. I don't care about the match.
Yeah.
They need to come out in the red and black and like face paint. It needs to be amazing. Like,
Shirtless. I want to see all the tribal art. I want to see
oh man,
everything.
all of it. I'm here for all of it.
Haku.
I want Alpha and Sika at ringside. I want Rikishi at ringside. I want them sitting on top of the ramp, like just watching over the match without obviously interfering. I want to see the elders. I want it all. This is the climax of this storyline. It's got to be,
You think so?
unless
I think they're going to push it to Mania.
unless Jimmy comes out and kicks Jay's head off and Roman wins.
That'll be the only way.
Makes sense.
Do y'all think this is the best storyline of all time?
One of them, definitely one of them.
Top 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat Rock and Stone Cold ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But this one's definitely gone on longer. There are a couple of them out there. I mean, there's been 1 or 2 with the Undertaker over the years that I think was fantastic. You got Sting and Hogan. But this is definitely top 5 of all time, no doubt.
Ryan.
Agreed. I mean, my childhood growing up was Rock and Stone Cold. Like, when Rock threw Stone Cold off that bridge, I was like, oh, how'd they get that camera in the coastline? How'd they know that was going to happen?
Did you guys see that? You saw the meme a while back that I posted when when the Titanic and all, like when they went down to the Titanic and had like how deep everything was, And then like about like 3/4 of the way through, it said the 1997 Intercontinental title that Steve Austin threw into over the bridge.
But no, I think Roman Reigns retains. I think, it's got as much of his back is against the wall. I think, he still comes out looking strong. And then it's like, well, who can beat them? And then you have, Cody Rhodes after beating Brock Lesnar, maybe go in there, for the kill stroke. Who knows? But I think Roman keeps it because, as the head of the table, you gotta show everybody your alpha. And sometimes you gotta knock somebody down.
As much as I'd like Jay to win that match.
I don't see it in a triple threat. I think if he's going to win, it's going to be 1-on-1.
Need Jay to win that match. I don't think he's going to, but what a wonderful surprise it would be.
Something's going to happen that's going to prevent. It's going to be some kind of interference. It won't be straight up. But I got the.
Well, no, it's no DQ. So of course there's going to be interference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who knows? The Rock could probably get in there.
As long as I just want to be able to see Rikishi. I need to see some of these people because they keep on talking about the elders. The elders approve this.
You're right. No, I agree. Rob said the same thing, a second ago, and I think that's fantastic. They need to showcase them in some way, shape, or form. I like the idea of them being in a skybox or something like that. I love it, but they need to showcase them somehow. Like, how could you not? And I'm sure all these guys would not mind a payday.
Yeah. I'd like to see the three of them, Alpha, Sika, and Rikishi, standing at the ramp or whatever, the beginning, and giving them their last rules and their last rights and shit. And then as Solo goes to get into the ring, they all come down to the ring and grab Solo and pull him off of the ring apron and just be like, no. And then they have to settle this themselves. And then whatever happens.
That's true. That could be it. But that's what I was saying.
Badass.
It would need to be it would need to be Jay versus Roman, and I just don't think this is going to be Jay versus Roman.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, there's no way.
It's going to be. So, yeah.
I want to see The Rock's mom. I want to see Nia Jax. I need to see everybody. I want everybody's front row. Somewhere.
The entire Anoa'i family.
Yeah. Boy, talk about heat. What if Nia Jax ruined it for Jey Uso?
Oh my lord.
No. Oh my god.
She couldn't come back. She couldn't come back to WWE ever again.
They would literally riot. They would literally riot if that happened.
I thought they were going to riot when Jay pinned Roman. I thought they were going to riot then. I was just
really.
I thought because it was such a big deal. I thought it was just going to go bananas, but you do what you do.
I think this is the end of the story.
They can keep going.
Really? Yeah. After this,
the last 3 times I thought this storyline was over, it just kept going.
But where did they go after this? This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the story.
This isn't even the end. This is just the beginning of the end. Or this, I mean, it's not. It's the end of the beginning. How about that? I think that's actually Jake the Snake quote. It's just the beginning of the end.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's gonna come to a culmination sooner than later. I can't see this storyline running another 12 months. I just can't.
WWE is like Hollywood. They are going to run something into the ground until it doesn't make money anymore. As long as something's making money, and this is, like we were just having a conversation about it as the best storyline of all time. So of course they're going to run into the ground. We're going to get 13 seasons out of this thing.
They will jump the shark.
It will. There will probably literally be a shark match. And Brock Lesnar will be there and he'll F5 it.
I have a shark. Yeah.
Down. Well, guys, this is, in my opinion, one of the most highly anticipated SummerSlam cards, in my opinion, in years. So I like this better than last year, even though Brock showed up in a fucking tractor. That was
last year was crazy.
That match was fantastic. I don't know what anybody says.
We got the tractor. We got Damage Control.
Popcorn cinema, man.
Broken ring. That's fantastic.
I'm really excited.
I'm telling you, Cody with a shotgun. I'm like, there's only one way to put you down, Brock.
Cody and Gorilla with a shotgun. Sounds like we're playing Clue.
Right. Nice. Guys, we will be back next week with the fallout from SummerSlam, with the fallout from the NXT's Great American Bash, and all of your favorites. Send your comments, your questions, and your favorites to our Instagram at Better Than Broadway. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, so you get to see all of our darling faces.
And Amazon Podcasts.
And Amazon Podcasts. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure. I feel like the fourth member sometimes.
Love having you on.
You're the fourth horseman, brother.
Jeff Ryan, please, final words and take us out.
Love your neighbors, love your friends, love everyone, man. There's enough love for everybody.
Thought you were gonna say like a random word like lasagna.
Oh.
Any final words?
Lasagna.
Equilibrium.
Have a wonderful week, everybody. Happy wrestling. We'll see y'all next time.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Play the music.
1 year show next week. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody
Cake for everyone.
Party hats and cake.
Y'all have to come on in costume with like party hats and little confetti.
We should have every member that we've ever come on for like 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah, just all your old members come on and say something
It'll be like
positive.
the final episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, or literally, with just like a 10-person panel.
That'd be fun.
I'm down.
Bye, guys.
Happy wrestling, y'all.
All right, y'all.